ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Well, welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to us on Broadway World or over here at the Broadway Podcast Network. And I love Brian De Lorenzo already because my mom is Rose DiMeglio. We could be long distance cousins. We could be paisans. We could be from the same part of Italy. Who knows? We're going to find out. But we love Brian. We love his music. The swinging new big band album, Toast of the Town, Volume 1, is out June 13th. There's a big concert out in Boston on June 17th, and we need to be ready and get our tickets. So no matter where you are, you can be streaming and listening to this album. And it is a who's who, from Sinatra to Sammy Davis Jr. to Tony Bennett to Ella Fitzgerald and more. I really love Stephen Eydie. We're gonna have a kiki session with Brian. Brian, we were so excited that you're here. Brian De Lorenzo, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Robert. It's great to be here.
So Brian, where do you live? Are you in New York? Are you in Boston? Where are you?
I am in Boston.
You're in Boston.
Yes.
Wow. Have you always lived in Boston? What is your history?
I have. I grew up outside of Boston, but I have a degree in musical theater from SUNY Fredonia, so Western New York State.
Okay, so you've traveled around and been singing for a minute.
Yeah, a long minute, a very long minute since I was a child.
Since you were a child. So what's it like for you, this journey to being in musical theater? You went to school for it, but then you found yourself as kind of a cabaret singer, songwriter, a great American songbook interpreter. So what was that led you to this career?
I started going to cabaret shows in the 80s. There's a club called Club Café in Boston that opened in, I think, 1983-ish. And they had a cabaret room in the back. So I started attending cabaret shows and I thought, that's something that I think I'd really love to do. And in 1995, I and a bunch of other cabaret singer wannabes in Boston formed the Boston Association of Cabaret Artists. In the meantime, I said, okay, I want to do a cabaret show, and I actually did my first cabaret show on a farm in Tuscany in 1995.
Oh, I mean, is there a better place to do one?
Yeah, it was a great experience. And
when did recording start? It's one thing to do a show, and then it's another thing to get in the studio and make a whole entire album.
Right. Well, I took a cabaret class from Helen Baldassare. I don't know if you know her, but she was a well-known cabaret singer and teacher in New York City. She came up to Boston to teach some classes. And I had been going to New York and performing at an open mic contest over a period of a few weeks in the winter of whatever year it was, 1998 or whatever. And the prize for the contest was doing your own cabaret show. So I won the contest against a 75-year-old granny rapper, this woman who did rap. And so I did my first show there, and it was called Found Treasures.
Okay, of course you won. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything else, Brian.
It was called Found Treasures, and I subsequently did the show at 88's, the old 88's in Greenwich Village, and that subsequently became what my first album would be, Found Treasures. And it's mostly songs that are from Broadway shows that maybe weren't terribly successful, or songs that are no longer in a Broadway show. For instance, there's a song in Cabaret called Why Should I Wake Up? It was in the original 1966 production, but they took it out in, I think, 1987 and wrote another song. But I think the old one is a better song.
So you've really been bouncing your career. You've performed all around the world. Boston is home, but you've done tons of shows in New York, worked with different cabaret groups, different albums being out. And then you have a brand new album that's come, as we're talking about it, called Toast of the Town, Volume 1. different than Treasures, and it features the Tom LaMark Orchestra. And what I love about this album is this time, instead of being the hidden gems of Broadway shows, like you are singing the greatest songs of the greatest singers in the entire world.
Right.
So what is on this album, and how'd you come up with this track list, Brian?
Well, I had been doing musical reviews of some of the great songwriters of the mid-century, Cole Porter and Rodgers and Hart. And so I started getting a feel of doing the American Songbook. And I said, I really want to put some of these into my own cabaret shows. So I started doing that. And then I thought, it would be really great to do an album with a big band. So I contacted my friend Tom LaMark to do arrangements for me. And we went into the studio. It's actually been a couple of years now since we went into the studio. These projects, when you have lots of instruments, can take a long time. There are 16 instruments on the album, and we do songs like "Too Close for Comfort," which Sammy Davis introduced. Autumn Leaves, I Love Paris, The Best Is Yet to Come, which lots of people have covered, but it's just such a great song that I had to do it.
I love the track listing. It's literally a walk down memory lane of some of the greatest songwriting and greatest performers ever, but your arrangements and your voice on them is what makes them so special and unique. So for you, what is the arrangement process like? You don't want to, it doesn't sound like a karaoke album. This is your own take on some of these most classic songs. So what's the process like for you to work on arrangements with your collaborators?
Well, there are a couple of medleys on this. One is Autumn Leaves with the song Autumn in Rome. Autumn in Rome is not terribly well known, but it comes from a film in the 1950s called Indiscretion of an American Wife. Interesting title. And Paul Weston and Sammy Cahn took a melody that the orchestrator for the film wrote and turned it into this song, Autumn in Rome. And I thought pairing these two songs would work really well. So I said to my arranger, okay, I want to do these two together. Can you sort of massage them, make the keys work and all of that? So it goes from Autumn Leaves to Autumn in Rome and back to Autumn Leaves. I also wanted to do Autumn Leaves as a slow waltz, whereas I think it was originally written in 4/4 time. And then I do what I call a travel medley. I've Got a Gal in Kalamazoo. You're in Michigan now, right? Is that right?
Yes, I am, Brian.
And You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To and Chattanooga Choo Choo. And it was my original concept to put those together. But of course, the guy with the arranging experience put them together for me. So,
well, I'm excited for people to check it out. Toast of the Town Volume 1. It's coming out. And I also want everyone to go. They can go to your website, which is briandelorenzo.com. And there's a link right there to get tickets for the show. That's going to be really exciting, especially with this June 17th at Club Café in Boston, Massachusetts. So you can get a ticket for $7:30 and have a great weekday night out, date night, see some great music with some great instrumentation. What made you feel the desire? I know it's not to save money, it's to spend extra money, Brian, to have a gigantic orchestra. This is not a little trio. You have a whole orchestra on this. So that means you have to get arrangements for that. That means you have to pay the musicians and mix all of this together. Why is that important to the vision of this concept for you?
I don't know if you've ever performed with a full orchestra on stage, but I know you perform at 54 Below. I don't know how many instrumentalists you can fit on that stage, but
not 16.
Well, you can't at Club Cafe in Boston either. I think the most we can fit are 7. But I've performed with a big band on stage and with chamber orchestras on stage, and it's such a wonderful feeling to combine your voice with all of these instruments. And I just wanted to put that down on a disc, that feeling.
So I'm excited to check it out. I had a sneak peek, so I listened to half the album already today, and it's so gorgeous. And I hope people are going to save it and pre-save it wherever you listen to music. If that's on Spotify or Apple or Tidal or Amazon, wherever you get your music, this album will be available for you. And if you're in the Boston area, make sure you go to the website and buy your tickets. So can we go through a little bit of some of the people you mentioned in the press release? You talk about Frank Sinatra. You talk about Sammy Davis Jr. You talk about that you've done singing Nat King Cole music. You talk about Stephen Eydie. And then you talk about also Natalie Cole, and you end your album with Barry Manilow, which I Was a Fool to Let You Go was such a beautiful, beautiful song. So can you let me know, what is it about all of these artists in particular? Let's start. Can we go down the list? I mean, Sinatra's Sinatra. So why is Sinatra so important to have represented?
Right. Well, of course, he covered every single song in the 20th century. So you can almost say I'm doing a Frank Sinatra show and do almost any song that was written between 1930 and 1975. Right.
He sung them all.
Yeah. And Tony Bennett too.
Tony Bennett.
Yeah. And actually I decided to do 2 albums. So this one is called Volume 1. Volume 2 has also been recorded. It hasn't been mixed yet, but that'll come out next year. So it was hard deciding, okay, which ones do I want on the first one and which ones do I want on the second one? Because, I love performing all of them, but I wanted to do a balance. And so Natalie Cole, speaking of Natalie Cole, I had bought her album. Now I've forgotten the name of it. It was released in the late 90s, I think. But it had a song called All About Love on it.
Yeah.
And I know that she has covered a lot of her father's songs, but I couldn't find any mention of All About Love in relation to Nat King Cole. Because it was written in 1958 or 59, and he died in 65. So, okay. Yeah. But I decided when I did my Nat King Cole tribute show, I would do this song that his daughter sang. And some interesting facts about the song is that one of the writers is more famous for creating a comic character on the Ed Sullivan Show in the late 50s rather than being a songwriter. And he also was born in Quincy, Massachusetts, which is where I was born. So, and his name is escaping me right now, but I can look it up.
No, I love the fact that this behind the scenes story of this, we have, when I was reading the press release, I was taken aback by, obviously, Nat King Cole, Tony Bennett, Sammy Davis Jr., Sinatra. I get that, those are the greats. But then when I see things like Natalie Cole and when I see things like Barry Manilow, Brian, I'm a big fan of Low. It's like, if you told me, what is your guilty pleasure? I would say I've seen Barry Manilow 23 times in concert. So when I see that you sing this song, I'm so excited to check it out and take a listen to it because I grew up listening to the song. How do you find your material? Do you have a big list? Do you whittle things down? Like, what do you have a list of songs I'm going to sing and record one day? How do you pick what fits on an album?
I have a very long list of songs. I was working on a cruise ship in Alaska in 1989, and on my days off, I would go to a music shop and just spend hours there going through the bins of show music. And my favorite find from then was a show called Angel, which was based on the novel Look Homeward, Angel, which became a Broadway show in 1976. And it ran for 5 performances. But I found 3 great songs in that show. And that's how I came up with the concept Found Treasures. I found these wonderful songs from, a flop musical. They also wrote Shenandoah, if you're familiar with that.
Yep.
And
And Johnny Mathis has been singing it in his final concerts. And I mean, it's a standard that, it's a beautiful song.
yeah, and they also wrote a Karen Carpenter hit, "Hurting Each Other."
Another great song.
Yeah, yeah. So that became my place for choosing all of this great material, and well, of course Barry Manilow. I was a big Barry Manilow fan growing up. I've only seen him perform live once.
That's okay. You're not insane like me, though. That's all that means, Brian. So what can we expect when we come see you live? What is a live Brian De Lorenzo show like?
A live Brian De Lorenzo show is me connecting with the audience as a cabaret singer needs to do. There's no sense in singing by myself in my shower, because it's all about that connection, so that the audience can feel what you're feeling. They can feel something maybe from their past, or just make that connection to the performers. And adding all of these instruments makes it even more exciting. So I'm really.
So is your show going to be the album? Is that what the plan is? Is it a secret?
It's probably going to be the album and more. Yeah. So I'll do at least one selection from the next album, and then some other songs that I've been doing for my cabaret shows.
Well, next year when you come back, will you share with us again the second volume? Because I'm now curious to know what are you singing? What is on the second volume? I need to know what's on the second volume, Brian.
You'll know.
Well, I hope there are more shows. I love to see people out and about. I hope you're in the New York area. I hope you got more shows up your sleeves. I hope you got more records up your sleeves. I want you to get through that entire list of music you got to sing.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Barry Manilow, I recorded a Barry Manilow song on my very first album, the song "All the Time."
So beautiful. Marty Panzer and Barry Manilow, and it's such a beautiful song. Now, hold on. We're going to look this up. You can find this. You could find these. Your whole discography. We could stream your music.
Yes.
I gotta find that version. You know why I like that song, Brian? Because I'm not a very good piano player, and it's not that hard to play it. And I was like, this is as good as I can play, and that's as good. It makes you look like I know how to play piano, but I really don't. So I'm very familiar.
Right.
I'm going to be listening to your music, and I'm sure people are going to be loving this new album. It's got literally the best of the best. All the music that I grew up listening to with my family is going to be perfect for your house and home. I'm excited for people to check it out. So we can go to your website. Can we go to follow you on social media?
Yes, I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram, and all of those links are on my website. So
we can go to Brian De Lorenzo for the full one-stop shop, and we can stream the album this coming June. Brian De Lorenzo with the Tom LaMark Orchestra. Who are they? And tell us about them. Toast of the Town, Volume 1, everybody.
Well, the Tom LaMark Orchestra is Tom is a friend of mine. He studied at Berklee College of Music. He's one of the go-to guys in Boston to accompany you, to arrange songs for you. He's gigging all the time, and he's just a great guy. And he's receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award at Cabaret Fest in Provincetown this June, just before the concert.
Brian, I feel like I need to play Provincetown. I've never even been to Provincetown.
Oh, well, you definitely need to come.
Okay.
This is the 25th year of Cabaret Fest there. And I have been performing off and on since the year 2000 at Cabaret Fest.
I need to look it up. I need to come. Maybe I have to come out there and see you out there. Yeah. So P-Town people, Provincetown people, be ready to see Brian out there this year. And all the information, I'm sure we could stay up to date with you on Instagram, Facebook, and definitely on the website. And the album will be out perfect in June 7th.
The album itself will be released on the 13th of June, and then the concert is June 17th.
Okay, got it. There was a 7. I know I'm old and I'm losing it. But all right, the 13th, The 13th, the album is out, and then that gives you 4 days to learn every word of it for the concert on the 17th, so that you can party along and sing along.
Do not sing along.
No singing.
No
Definitely
singing
if you can't sing. Okay, just be quiet. Hum under your breath. Don't hum either. Just clap.
Right. Applause
clap.
is very much appreciated.
Stand. Can we stand every song or just no? Just
Standing every song is a little much.
Okay. It's only stand when the spirit really moves you to get up.
Yes.
Okay, we got it. All right,
Yeah.
that's what our plan is. Everybody, Brian De Lorenzo, BrianDeLorenzo.com. It was so nice to meet you. I'm so excited to hear your albums and all the work that you're doing, and I look forward to you coming. Be a friend. Come on back.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you. I so appreciate you. Congratulations.
Thanks.